You came to my house. You're crying. You're like, I got to go do this for my son.
Yeah. A business that looks and smells like a startup, it's hard work, right? It's not always easy. There are days and moments where it might even look or feel hopeless. Don't tell me about the problem. Give me the solution, right?
I said to everyone, I'm sitting here with Mike Shelly. Mike Shelly, you don't know why you're here yet, but I figured I'll just throw it out there. Friday, good day for you, bad day for you?
Friday was a very good day, Lance.
Friday was a very good day?
It was.
Why don't you tell everybody what happened on Friday?
Friday was the, not the end, right? But it was the period on an end of a sentence, right? And that started when our paths crossed. Maybe not the first conversation that we had. And in the very first conversation that we had, you hinted at a potential for partnership, right? But I would say of maybe the most significant, maybe the second or the third conversation that we ever had one-on-one, you promised me that you were going to make me a millionaire. And I believed you. And it came true on Friday. And that was, just chronologically speaking, that was from that time, it was probably just less than 2 years, right? It wasn't a long period of time. And, as somebody who had been in the space that I've been in all my life, that just wasn't happening for me, despite how much I sold or despite how much the organizations that I was involved in seemed to be having success. The opportunity to become a millionaire, at least in my mind, had bypassed me. I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'm 52 years old.
A year older than me, by the way. Thank God. On a serious note, though, it's only been 18 months. Like, everything formed together.
I'm talking from when we first met.
Yeah, when we first met, we met probably almost 2 years ago. Probably right around 2 years right now.
Because you were doing advertising work for us. That's how we met.
You're right, because I sold in February. I met you in January, right before I sold.
Exactly.
You're right. So it's been 2 years I met, and then we partnered probably 5-6 months later.
In the spring, sure.
The partnership, you've been around me long enough, and let's just have a candid conversation. I think a lot of people think, like, Regan's here today. He comes in. He's like, man, are you having a... The first thing he says to me is, are you okay today? I'm like, well, my fucking kids are fighting. Like, he saw the real morning of Lance Bachman. Like, when my head's spinning, I'm just trying to calm my sons down. My wife's screaming. People think what they see on social media, this guy that's like just going to take your business, put prixie ducks on it, or they think I'm just going to build a business for him. Is that kind of what happened here?
No.
You can be honest, or is it a little different than that?
It was a little bit different than that. I say that, Lance, you're the engine, right? So the vehicle, the business, if you will, was, we had to maintain it, right? So, but you gave us the engine. At times you were the engine that was needed, right? When things look like they might be gone off path or off chart, right? You always were there to correct it. But as far as doing the heavy lifting every day from you never went and installed a roof. You never went and sold a job. You didn't book any scheduled appointments, right? But the playbook to do all those things, they came from your game plan. Now, I know you weren't in the space prior, but you knew quickly, right? You looked at roofing and you saw, okay, like, why are they not doing X, Y, and Z, right?
The basic shit.
The basic shit, right? And, you put the basic stuff in, right? By the time we had met, you were already working with Cherry, right? Yeah. Can I say that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, I sold Cherry. Everybody knows that.
All right, very good. And, you figured it out in quick order. But what you were never like the lifeline, if you will, from avoiding people from doing the hard work. If it were easy, everybody would just do it, right? They'd start a company from basically nothing, and they'd be a millionaire inside of 18 months, right? If that were easy, I think there'd be a line.
I mean, we missed $25 million our first year, full retail, by $16,000. Talk to people about, the friction, because I think everyone just thinks like it's all hunky dory. Lance is going to put his arm around you and make you feel great at all times. Is that kind of what happened here over the last 18 months with everybody, or was it like, hey, fucking do this or get the fuck out?
The latter, right? But the friction comes in where people expect that they're just going to turn it over and you're going to carry the cross for them, so to speak, right? The friction comes in where, let's face it, a business that looks and smells like a startup, it's hard work, right? So things we say there are bodies, if you will, along the way, and it's not always easy, and sometimes it looks discombobulated. There are days and moments where it might even look or feel hopeless, but that's really a loser's mentality in how they look at things, right? What I learned first and foremost working with you is, right, you said in the very beginning, right, the first time I ever heard you raise your voice, you were just like, and you were stern. You were just like, I don't want to hear about problems or why we can't, right? Tell me how. And I've changed my life by looking at any piece of adversity, professionally speaking for sure, right? Personal's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But professionally speaking, there are no problems or obstacles. There are merely and simply opportunities, right, to get it right. Don't tell me about the problem. Give me the solution, right?
I said to everyone.
And you're a solutionsman, right? So if there's any pixie dust that you have, you're always about the solutions. We never waddle and pity in the problems, if you will.
You're going to have problems every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Let's talk about this. You know, we grew so fast. People's heads are spinning, and we're growing all around the country in most of our divisions. We have problems like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think ServiceTitan, because so many people were anti-ServiceTitan when I brought it in and said, we're doing this, it's off the table, we're going this route. Do you believe ServiceTitan is one of the biggest reasons it helped us scale so fast? Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, ServiceTitan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.
It's an unequivocal, undoubted yes, an emphatic yes. Lance, I never questioned why, but I resisted because of my own shortcomings when ServiceTitan first came in. I didn't really dig in and learn to navigate like I could or should. And when given an opportunity, right, to try to do something different, I probably would have. I learned in short order, frankly, that there is no substitute for ServiceTitan. If you want to build and grow at a rapid rate like we did here, and let's face it, you know, if you do what we do, you can have that success, right? You got to be willing to do the work. It couldn't be done without ServiceTitan. Could not.
You know, let's talk about this. You know, a lot of what you went through, relationships are important. You know, most people don't realize you actually were with me and then you left and you came back. Can you talk about that and that feeling now that we did sell?
Yeah.
Are you glad you came back? Are you glad we stayed friends? Because like people don't realize like you came to my house, you're crying, you're like, I gotta go do this for my son.
Yeah.
Like, and I got it. Like I said, go get it, yes or no.
And you did.
Like I get it. I got sons. I get it.
And frankly, Lance, I didn't want to disappoint you. I had, you know, just man to man, I had a little fear about disappointing a guy that I felt like, you know, had bet on me, but I had to bet on myself and my family. And during that short period when I left, you know, we maintained a friendship. We talked regularly, right?
You were still helping me in my house with stuff.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't even blink at that. And when I had questions, you were the first guy I would call, because why wouldn't I, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk to a guy who's winning. And I left for 110 days. And then I realized when you gave me that opportunity to come back that I couldn't be the best version of me without being pushed by even better leadership and mentorship, right? So that was an opportunity for me to come, you know, back under your tutelage. You were accommodating enough to make my son a part of this thing, right? As well, he got a we put him at the end of the table, right, and gave him a high chair to sit in. But we still,
Hey,
he
you got
has
to
his
check.
own-
You got
yeah,
to check
he sure
on.
did.
He's buying a house. He sent me a very nice text. It meant a lot. Like he sent me like a very heartfelt text. Like I was like, wow, that's a fucking nice kid. He gets. He's buying a house, getting engaged. I mean, he's set up for the rest of his life. He does the right things.
Absolutely. At 25 years old, and Lance, we can both probably admit, right? If we had our head on our shoulders, like I'm blessed enough to have my son have the head on his shoulders he does. If I had that at 25, my life story is different, right? But I'm right where I needed to be and where I want to be right now.
Let's talk about that. How does it impact your life? Because you had challenges. I mean, listen, we both have. I'm not trying to put your shit out there.
No,
So whenever I say it to people, like, I'm never trying to put anyone down. We've all, like, I have no right to judge another man. I always say it to people.
I'm not here. I'm not ashamed of. I said this to you over the weekend, right? Separate personal conversation, right? I had to forgive myself. I made decisions that negatively impacted people and their lives and their families as a result of another business, that went bad.
Yeah, but I don't think people know your whole story. And this is what I say to people all the time. This is what I say to my wife. I hope you don't mind saying this. And like,
there's no off limits here, Lance.
Okay, so like, I look at things differently. Like, you lost a son.
I did.
And I don't know if you remember, because I don't get upset about much, but like I love my sons. Like you see, I leave every day. I'm with my children. So I couldn't imagine ever losing a child. Like that has. So people, when they want to judge, they should be more fucking curious to what made this man maybe make mistakes. Instead of it's easy to judge from up there, but when you're living it and you're seeing it, and if you can't understand, someone might go through. I'd kill myself if I lost one of my sons. I know I would. I'd blow my fucking head off. And that's just the honest God truth. And people say, no, you wouldn't. Yes, I would. I couldn't imagine living without my children. So I look at you totally different and say, I know you're a good man. I've seen what you've been through. I see who you are every day. I know the character of you. I never once questioned your character. That's a fucking fact.
Never.
You told me who you were day one I met you, and I didn't even know that story until you told me. I was like, dude, I'm not even worried about this. Like, let's move on.
The words that you said to me, I gave, I told you that I lost my son, right? And then I told you everything that happened afterwards, right? And the troubles that I got in.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, Mike, I didn't hear one damn thing you said after that you lost your son. And you said more or less what you just shared. I couldn't even imagine, right? And I wouldn't want anybody to. Even my worst enemy, it's not something I'd wish on anyone.
This money will never be able to bring back your son
No
or
doubt.
anything else. But how does it impact you, your wife, your mental health, for at least financially? Like nothing can, but does it impact? Does your wife, your other son, how does it impact you guys?
First and foremost, right? It loosens a noose, right? Because frankly, and a lot of it by my own doing, right? I've had financial pressures as an adult. I was 19 years old when my first child was born. Had to leave college, and I feel like I've been running from behind my whole life. So for the first time, I woke up Saturday morning the day after, and that pressing, oh my God, right? It wasn't there. I'm not saying that I'm, that I have any, like, we're here, right? We're working. We're back. We were back at it Saturday morning, right? Same Saturday morning ritual. And that's why I think, that's testimony to why we're able to do some of the stuff we're able to do. And it allows me, right, because it's important to me that all the wrongs that I did, like I live today so that nobody would believe the stuff that they would see about me. Like you said, that's who I am. But at the same time, being able to go back and clean some of that wreckage of the past up, it's important to me. It's important to my family. And the noose that has been around my neck for probably more than 30 years, it's been loosened. And you're the driving force behind that. And again, you fulfilled a promise you made to me very early on that I don't know that you remember, and I'm eternally grateful for that, man.
What do you think the other partners all think that money hit? Because it wasn't easy. Like, you guys saw me going back and forth. The deal was on. I killed the deal.
Yes.
If you remember, I sent the email. I said, it's over. I'm done. I'm not even going back and forth. I think they were definitely fucking shocked. I think you guys were shocked. I was like, enough's enough. I mean,
it's a lot of millions. Yeah. I think a lot of people were shocked, right?
Well, I mean, listen, no offense. I know what we got here.
It's a great company.
I mean, and that's where, I think people don't realize, and it was the fifth company I sold, right? So like you said, it's a little different for me. I've been down this road, and what do you think the partners feel? Have you guys all talked?
We have, and I think that they were all right, as you talked about. The negotiation period was long and tenuous, right? We had that sort of last month where it was touch and go almost daily.
Daily.
So there was a lot of stress, right? You know, Frank, like I think you said to the folks, like, my team is taxed, right? It's having
I did that.
it's having an impact on my team, right? I think there was some relief that state was over, but so many of these guys were, in similar positions to me, not exact positions to me, right? None of these guys are rich guys that come from money.
No, I always say people that come and partner with me aren't on a fucking winning streak.
They're second and third chancers,
And
all of them.
Everyone.
We all have that in common. So for a guy, frankly, that, and can I say this, Lance, right?
Sure.
I mean, it can be verified. You don't need the money.
I don't know. I think it's public knowledge at this point.
Okay, it is, right? But
I mean, you saw what I just took on this take. Most people never got to work again with that money.
Understood. And here you are, right? Monday morning, same time, same, like nothing changes.
No.
But as far as the partners are concerned, my son being one of them, they all became friends. Even those I didn't know prior to the partnership. They had an opportunity to have their lives changed in a way that, frankly, everybody's interested really in running it back and investing into the company and doing the things that are necessary, right, for a great transition. We're like more than excited to the moon to partner with the people that we partner with, and like there's a great company, and it's just going to continue to be a great company and a better company.